Hey guys, MCU Clutch here with another figure review. Next up is the Super7 Deluxe Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the metallic Tommy the Green Ranger. These are the Hasbro Pulse exclusives. So shout out and thank you to Super7 for sending out a few of these figures for me to review. Looks like we've got the Green Ranger, Pink Ranger, Black Ranger, and the White Ranger. So we'll go Green Ranger, Black Ranger, Pink Ranger, White Ranger in the reviews. And I'm excited for these. So they are $34.99. So new price point to go along with the deluxe line of Super7. So these aren't quite ultimates. They are deluxe. As you can see at the top of the package here, it's DX Deluxe. So it's a new sub-line by Super7. They've done it so far in like hip-hop artists and Thundercats. I think Target's got some exclusive Thundercats at that $34.99 price point. So $20 left. $54.99, you know, was pretty high for the Super7 Ultimates figures. Depending on the figure, some of them, you know, you get this massive chunk of plastic for certain licenses and whatnot. Like a Megazord was pretty cool. I think the Megazord actually may have been like $10 more. But, you know, the year that the Megazord came out, what was it, 2023? Last year was my favorite figure of the year. Such an awesome piece. So I'm excited to get these ones, the Metallic Rangers. I have all of the regular Super7 Ultimates Power Rangers, so I will do a comparison with this metallic Green Ranger to the regular release Green Ranger, but let's go ahead and get into it. First, the nostalgia. The nostalgia factor is crazy because we get the triangle boxes. Now, they did do this in the reaction, the 3 3/4 inch, so we had the triangle boxes. These were exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, but it was just the core team, pink, red, black, yellow, blue. We did not get a Green Ranger or a White Ranger. So this time in the metallics, we at least get White Ranger and Green Ranger, and as you can see, they added right there, green in the front and then white back there. So the nostalgia factor is insane with the triangle boxes. I love it. Mine, unfortunately, the window is a little cracked. But anyway, looking at the back, it just says the story. 5 ordinary teenagers have been chosen to save the world from Rita Repulsa and her evil space aliens. Using special power morphers, the teens call on the spirits of the ancient dinosaurs to transform into the incredible Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and summon their mighty Power Zords. When all else fails, the Power Zords join together to form high-tech Megazords. Will they be strong enough to save us from Rita's destruction? I don't know if that's the exact wording that may have been on the original toys back in '93, was it? But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get the figure out of the package. He is going to have less accessories than the Ultimates line. Obviously, when you drop down in price, you obviously get less accessories. These figures are truly an homage and throwback to the original action figures at release. So we get like a red morpher in there, obviously not accurate to the show or anything like that. So again, just to kind of level set the expectations, because I know Super7 can be very divisive. These figures, to me, 100% remind me of the original figures back when I was a kid. 7, 8-year-old me back in '93, loving Power Rangers and having a bunch of the toys. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box, and let's check out Tommy the Green Ranger and then compare him to the regular Super7 Ultimates figure. The good thing is the tray comes out so cleanly. So yes, collector friendly. You can put it right back in the box. If you don't have display space like me, I'm out of display space, but I love the way it looks in the box. So here we have it. The accessories, we get the Power Blaster, which was something that he shouldn't come with, but the original toy did come with it. It is all white, full-on throwback to the original action figures. His Dragon Dagger is all silver. Full throwback to the original action figures where those things did not get painted at all. So here we go. The Green Ranger. I'm going to have to cut those ties to get him out of there, but let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so here is the Green Ranger figure out of the package, the metallic Green Ranger figure. A couple of things. This is not 100% repaint of the Ultimates Green Ranger. It's very similar, but there's a couple of things. Now, I want to set this part up to level set some expectations here, because I know there's a lot of people that are not going to like this part. This figure is not the same as the Ultimates. Here is the Ultimates figure. The big difference is the Ultimates regular release has the gold bands on the arms, the gold rings around the gloves, and the gold rings around the boots. This one does not have that. The reason why it does not have it is because the original toy line did not get special sculpted parts for the Green Ranger. The Dragon Shield, obviously, but the figure itself did not. Like, it was the same body as all the Rangers. Even the female figures got the same body as the male Rangers. So that's what Super 7 is going for here. Remember, the Super 7 action figure line is all about nostalgia and recreating what was original back in 1993. Obviously, they can't make one for one the exact same. You know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, remember what happened there, right? They were told to stop. They had to redo designs and things like that. So the Super 7 figures, obviously, they can't just redo what actually came out in 1993. But they pay homage to those figures with certain things, like having a toy design like this, giving it, you know, the white power blaster and the silver dragon dagger. Although they gave it the good dragon dagger as opposed to the Ultimates line, which had kind of the more generic, like bulky toy one that would have come with like the original action figure line. So that was kind of a bit odd. So here's like the painted one. This time we get this exact thing, but in silver. I would have thought they would have just come with this, and I would have been okay with that because, again, throwback to the original toy. There are a couple of things that do seem odd to me, though. If you're going to do a throwback to the original toy line, why give this shield when you can give that Vac Metal gold one? And I'll have to get that one out of this Green Ranger to put it on this one, because I think that would have been a cool concept too, because then it would have been really throwback, whereas right now it's not quite as throwback. Now the Morpher, as you can see, we have the red power coin as opposed to the fully painted Morpher that's gold and stuff. The original toy line had silver belt and a big old red dot for the Morpher. Here he actually gets his Morpher with the Dragon Dagger power coin in there. It's just painted red. Yeah, so enough of that. Let's go ahead and get in for a closer look at this Green Ranger, look at the metallic paint and compare it to the original release. And yeah, let's do it. Okay, so up close here we have the metallic Green Ranger. So as you can see there, we get this nice shine to the paint in there. Like, it almost kind of has a nice sparkle to it. So the regular release, as you can see, a very flat green. We now get this new shiny green that is cool. Power Morpher, as you can see, just silver and red. Again, homage to the original toy line. We don't get the painted details in the Dragon Shield. The helmet looks good there. Essentially the same paint, other than the green being different, obviously, for the metallic look. But essentially the same. If anything, you know what, does he stand a little bit taller? I wonder if that's because of the change in the boots. That's interesting that the helmet sits higher on the neck. That also changes some things. It's interesting that the size is actually a little bit different there. Yeah, but it just sits really high on the neck, so there's that. But it's painted well. The Dragon Shield, the power coin is actually painted underneath there, so we'll have to do this, and I guess you just pull the arms out. Okay, so we just pull the arms out. I don't remember how this was, you know, because it's been well over a year since I got that original Green Ranger figure, that Ultimates Wave 1 figure. So let's see. That arm does not want to come out, so I am going to have to put some more work into getting that arm out so we can get this Dragon Shield off, because what we'll do is we'll just pop that head off, and then we'll be able to get the Dragon Shield up so we could see that power coin on the chest, because the original figures had those power coins on there. So give me a second. Okay, so I got the arm off. It was just, you know, a lot of paint buildup in there, so I was able to pull it off there. So the Dragon Shield, we can remove that, and we have there the old school, like, logo design. It's not the actual power coin, but the other ones, I think they're the actual power coins, so it's just kind of one of those things. So you can then have, like, old school, because how many times, you know, or can you remember how many of us had the original action figures, right? And we had that Vac Metal shield, and then the shield like broke to where it was no longer going to stay on. So you just had your Green Ranger, and he looked like all the other Rangers without the shield. So you can actually do that. And you know what? I kind of dig the way it looks. I'm not going to keep him that way because I think the Green Ranger needs his Dragon Shield. But that is an option for you there. Looking at that Dragon Dagger again, it's just all silver. It's actually the nice detailed one. They just painted it all silver instead of giving us like this old school type one that kind of replicates the old toy. This is the one that comes in the Wave 1 Ultimates figure. But we have that there. It is the white holster sheath. The original obviously is black, which is accurate, but the toy did white, but it really only had the regular holster for the power blaster on the other side, so they didn't do that. They at least went with the actual Green Ranger Power Morpher and stuff there. So there we go. But let's go ahead and you know what? Let's go ahead and do some head swaps. So let's pop that head off. And the Green Ranger in Wave 1 came with 2 Tommy Oliver head sculpts. So we have that one there. And again, this looks very vintage toy-like. So you have that Tommy Oliver there. And then we also get the evil Tommy Oliver head sculpt there. So we got evil Tommy there. So they do pop on there and look good. Okay, so actually I had to do this before we get into the articulation. I put on that vac metal dragon shield that came with the Wave 1 Ultimates Green Ranger, and this brings me right back to my childhood when I had that Green Ranger figure and that vac metal dragon shield, which just clipped together up here, that broke and wouldn't stay on. I had to glue it and tape it to get it to stay on, and this just takes me back to my childhood so much. The nostalgia is real, guys. Man, I loved that figure. I loved the Power Rangers show when I was a kid. I loved all the toys. Everything was just so cool, and this just really, really brings me back. I think this figure should have come with this shield instead of this one. Not that this one's bad, but this one just brings back all the nostalgia feels more than a regular gold one would. Okay, so the articulation for the Deluxe Metallic Green Ranger, he can look up that much, which is pretty good. You know, looking up at the Dragon's Horn, he can look down that much, so that is pretty good there. You get full rotation in that head, and not really any pivot going on there. The arm, you can get the shoulder to go straight on out like so. You can do a full rotation, even though I pulled the arm out there. The Dragon Shield does kind of get in the way, so you kind of have to move it off to the side. You got an upper bicep swivel in there. Single jointed elbow gives you that much bend. There you get a swivel at that elbow. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge. We have the vertical hinge on these 2 grip hands that he comes with. So there, if you have the Ultimates, you could always, you know, swap hands around and whatnot also. We have an ab crunch on this guy, but the Dragon Shield is going to hinder that ab crunch a little bit, so he's only going to crunch forward that much. I feel like that's definitely not right. So going back is that much. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like... Well, I guess the Ultimates figure didn't move a whole lot, but you could see it did go forward a little bit more, and I don't know if it's just the Dragon Shield really gets in the way, but he does go forward a tiny bit. It is not a whole lot, though. There is a little bit of a ball joint at the waist, so you can actually tilt a little bit to the right, tilt a little bit to the left. Doesn't really go back, doesn't really come forward, and you get some swivel going on there. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward only so far there. Leg goes back actually a bit of a ways. Tiny bit of thigh swivel in there. A single jointed knee gives you 90 degrees. There you got a boot swivel there. Foot hinges down quite a bit. You get a little bit of hinge up there. Ankle pivot, pec at the bottom of the feet. Again, we've heard Brian Flynn talk about these kinds of things in interviews and whatnot. You know, obviously us as action figure collectors in the modern day, we want double jointed elbows. We want double jointed knees. We want thigh swivel. We want all those things. The original action figures didn't have that, so that's kind of his justification in it. It's like if you're doing a throwback and doing the nostalgia thing, the original figures didn't have those, so that's why they're kind of recreating. Whether you like that reason or not, that's up to you, but that's the reason given. I don't mind it. Again, for me, it's pure nostalgia. I'm not here to do photography with these figures. This is just here to feed my inner childhood and bring me back to those days when I was a kid. Okay, so short and sweet, simple review and comparison-ish. Here, again, pure nostalgia factor with these metallic Rangers. These are exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. I do have pink, black, and white that I'll be taking a look at in the next set of videos. But these are available to pre-order on Hasbro Pulse right now. They have an expected release of November 1st, so get your pre-orders in now. Links in the video description below. You guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these Super 7 Deluxe Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Metallic Ranger figures? Does it feed that nostalgia factor for you? It does for me. Let me know what you guys think of the Ultimates figures. Those are available. I think all of them are available at like BigBadToyStore.com if you're looking to pick up some of those. I'll have links in the video description below as well. But you guys let me know all of your thoughts. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.